Hi guys, welcome back to What's on My Plate. So for today we're making a French onion soup. It's going to be delicious. You're going to love it. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started with this French onion soup. So we need 4 medium onions. I didn't really have medium onions, so these two are considered 1 medium onion. So if you can get the really large onions from the supermarket, the yellow ones, that would be great. So basically 4 medium onions or 2 large. So now we're going to slice these up for our soup. And I'm just going to cut the end off. And you don't want to slice them too thin, because if you do that, it's going to be very stringy when you eat it. It's weird. Because I've done that and I did not like it. So I'm going to cut these onions up. Okay. And over here I have 3 minced cloves of garlic on the side. I already chopped them up. So we're not going to cut them too thin. So just cut it in half. And then just slice it this way. See, like this is a good size. It's not too thin. It's going to be perfect. Again, I've sliced it thin before and it was just so stringy. It was, I did not like the texture. So these pieces are a good size. Okay, and then after I chop these, I'm going to caramelize them in my pot here with a little bit of olive oil. And the part that takes the most is to caramelize the onions. That just takes the longest. And you want to cut it long ways this way. You don't want to slice it like that. But you can slice it however you want. I'm just telling you from like experience making this. There's so many recipes online that everyone, you know, does it differently. Some people use beef broth. I'm using vegetable stock. You know, some people put Worcestershire. I'm going to put a couple teaspoons or tablespoons of low sodium soy. And I'm also using red wine. If you use red wine, I suggest maybe not doing the beef broth if you decide to use beef broth instead, just because it's going to be just too much. So here are my onions, and I don't like this end part here. I'm going to cut that off. So my onions are done, my garlic's done, and now let's get to the pot and start cooking these and caramelizing them for a little bit. This is the longest process, caramelizing. Otherwise it all gets together quick, not that many ingredients. So let's get going. Okay, here's a close-up of my onions, how I sliced them. So this is a perfect size. Okay, so in my cast iron red pot, which I love, I just love to use this, so pretty. I enjoy making my soups in this. So let's get started. I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of olive oil in here, medium low heat, and then we're going to add all the onions in here. So let's start adding them in. Okay. So let's mix all this up so they get coated in the oil. Okay, and then just break the pieces apart. So again, medium, low heat. And then I'm going to put in a tablespoon of brown sugar. Blend this all up. Brown sugar is going to help with the caramelizing of the onions. As well, it gives some great sweetness to it. Okay. Next, I'm putting in the garlic. Mix all that up. And I'm going to put a pinch of salt, just a little bit, just a pinch. And then I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. So it's probably about an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. Okay. And then basically, again, I said this is the longest part of the process. Just make sure everything's mixed up, coated nicely. And you're just going to basically leave it on here on medium, low. Or actually put it on low because mine's sizzling here. So keep it on low and you're going to leave it on here for about 30 to 40 minutes. Just keep mixing it. And they're going to get so nice, soft, caramelized, and this already has so much flavor in it already. So after this step, we're going to get to the other steps. We just have to let this go for 30-40 minutes on low heat. Okay, so my onions are cooking for about 30 minutes on low heat, and they're super soft, and they started to stick to the bottom a little bit, so please remember to continuously mix through that 30-40 minutes. I mean, you can cook them longer, but I think 30 to 40 minutes is enough. So mine are almost done, and then we'll get to the next step. Okay, look how good my onions look. They're super soft and caramelized. And I just increased the heat because now we're going to start adding stuff to it. It's going to be done so quick. We just needed these onions to get nice and super soft. Okay, so let's get to the next step now. So we're raising the heat to medium-high. And we're going to start adding in the wine. Okay, so now what we're going to add, I actually have it on medium heat right now. I'm going to mix it up a little bit again. And we need a cup of red wine. So I didn't have red wine, so I basically don't really drink too much wine. So I went and got this little bottle here from the store. It doesn't even tell you how many ounces are on here, but I think this little bottle should be enough. So whatever's in this little bottle here, yeah, there it goes, pretty much a cup. So a cup of red wine, we're going to add that in. And now we're keeping it on medium to medium high heat, I guess. We want this to reduce. The wine has to cook out. Okay, so it smells really good. So medium high heat. We're just reducing this wine out. And with that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon thyme. You could use regular thyme, but I grow lemon thyme in my garden, so I'm using that. So I'm going to mix this in here. And we're just going to reduce the wine now. That's what we're doing. And the last thing I'm going to add in for now is my bay leaf. So you need 2 bay leaves. I have 3 bay leaves in there just because my whole container of bay leaves broke. All the pieces are broken in here. So just 2 bay leaves in here. Okay. It's going to be about a few minutes. It has to reduce. We have to cook out that wine. So approximately, I'm thinking about 5 to 7 minutes on medium heat. You could put it on medium high, but if you see that it's bubbling way too much, just lower it to medium. And again, if you're using red wine, I suggest not using the beef broth. I'm using vegetable stock in this, but I think the beef broth and the red wine, I think it's going to be too much. And I keep saying I think. I actually know because I've done it before. So that's what I feel. Okay, so 5 to 7 minutes. It should start reducing, and then we're going to start adding in our broth. Okay, so that was about 5 minutes. So I think it's pretty good. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to add a tablespoon of all-purpose flour, mix it up, and now we're going to cook it for about 3 to 4 minutes because we need to burn out the flour now. Make sure the flour is completely covered in here, and now just let this cook just a few minutes, but continuously mix it if you can. So we reduced the wine. I said about 5 to 7 minutes. So just gauge it because mine was about 5 minutes. And now it's on medium heat. We added the tablespoon of flour. We're going to let that cook out for about 3 to 4 minutes. And then after the 3 to 4 minutes, we're going to start adding the vegetable stock. Okay, so now that we cooked out the flour, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of low sodium soy. You can use Worcestershire, which I love using in everything, but the soy is really great. It gives it such good flavor. Okay, so mix this in. See, the whole bottom's getting all sticky. And now we're going to add the broth in. So I'm using vegetable stock, if you could see that. So I'm using these 2 containers. It's a total of 8 cups of vegetable stock. Okay, so as you're adding it, just get the bits off the bottom. Okay. Remember, 8 cups. Okay, that's 4 cups right there. All right, let me get this one in here. Okay, now we're going to go to medium-high heat. Medium-high heat, and that flour we add is going to thicken this up a little bit. Okay, so medium-high heat for about 20 minutes. And then the soup is pretty much done. Then you're just going to put it in your bowl, and you're going to put your favorite cheese and your French bread inside the soup. I'm using Gruyère. It melts perfectly and the taste is amazing. So medium-high heat for 20 minutes. Okay, so this is on medium-high heat, and it has like a really rapid boil here, which is fine because, again, we added flour. Anytime you add flour to thicken something up, you know, you need to burn that flour off. Especially like if you do, like when you make bechamel sauces and stuff like that, that flour has to be burnt out, or it just makes the food taste not great. So this is okay that it's boiling like this. You can, after I said 20 minutes on medium-high heat, if yours is boiling way too much, after 10 minutes you can put it to medium heat, and then the soup is done. It looks great. All these little pieces in here are thyme. I didn't crush them that well. I have it from my garden. I didn't crush it too much. But it doesn't matter. That flavor's there. That looks delish. Okay, so my soup is pretty much done. It has a few minutes left. So it was 20 minutes cooking time after we finished putting the whole soup together. So I did 10 minutes on medium-high heat, and then I lowered it to medium heat for the last 10 minutes. So it was a total of 20-minute cooking time. So after the soup is done, you can add a little bit more salt and pepper, but you know, taste it first. And then you need a baguette or a French bread, and then cut it in about 1 inch to 2 inch pieces and toast it in the oven at 425 for about 5 minutes. And then take that piece of bread and add it to your bowl, and then we're going to pour the soup over it, and then we're going to slice the cheese, and then everything comes together. Okay, so I'm going to make four bowls of soup. I have Italian bread here, cut about an inch and a half. I'm putting it in the oven at 375 for about 5 minutes. We just want it to get a little toasty. We don't want it to get too crispy. And I put some olive oil on top. And then I will put this in my bowl and then add my soup on top, put my Gruyere cheese on, melt it up in the oven in my bowl, and it'll be ready to eat. Okay, so here are my bowls. I love these bowls. I got them a while ago. I bought them actually from the dollar store, Dollar Tree, years ago. So this can go into the oven. I'm going to put it in the oven at 375 to melt my cheese. But I'm going to put my bread right inside both of these. And then I'm going to put my soup on top. That's the next step. And now I'm going to add my soup to each of the bowls right over the bread. Okay. There we go. The bread does float up, but when it gets enough of the liquid from the soup, it'll go right back down. Okay. Look how good that looks. And so I got a block of Gruyere cheese and I sliced it. So I'm going to put the sliced pieces right on top. I sliced it very thin. So I'm going to put it in here. Oh, it's amazing. So let's put the pieces in here. I'm going to put this in the oven at 375 until the cheese melts. It should only be a few minutes. And then you're ready to eat your soup. So this soup is going to make a few bowls. Again, this cheese is very thin. That's why I'm putting so many slices on there. I just sliced the whole block up. But look how good that looks. I'll give you a close-up. And now this is going to go in the oven, and then we're ready to eat. Again, thank you so much for watching what's on my plate. This soup is absolutely delicious. Okay, so here's my soup. It looks absolutely delicious, and it tastes absolutely delicious. If you don't have a dish that can go into the oven, that's okay. Just put it in a bowl, add your bread, your soup, and your cheese, and just add it to the microwave until the cheese melts on top. It looks great. Thank you so much for watching.